So today we're diving into some excerpts from H.P. Blavatsky's The Secret Doctrine, Volume 1 specifically.
Yep, cosmogenesis. We're focusing on what she calls the three fundamental propositions. These are like the absolute pillars of her whole view of the cosmos.
Okay, so our mission today isn't just, reading old philosophy. It's about really exploring these foundational ideas. Where does the universe come from? What is it? And get this, how do we fit in?
It's definitely a journey into some pretty deep waters, some profound concepts, but we'll try to break them down, make them accessible, see what clicks for you.
Ready to jump in with us?
Let's do it. First fundamental proposition. This really sets the scene.
Okay, Proposition 1. It introduces this. Omnipresent, eternal, boundless, and immutable principle. Honestly, my first read, my eyes kind of glazed over a bit. That's a lot.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It's abstract. Think of it like this, maybe. Imagine pure potential, something so fundamental it's before space, before time, before anything we can name or point to.
So beyond our usual concept.
Yeah, exactly. The text quotes the Mandukya Upanishad, unthinkable and unspeakable. Trying to define it actually limits it, like catching smoke.
Okay, that helps. It's not just big, it's fundamentally different. And the text mentions TAT, the unknowable rootless root. What's that about?
Rootless root is the key phrase there, I think. It means it's the ultimate source, but it doesn't have a source itself. It just is.
Oh, okay.
The text simplifies it. Q, eternal absolute. A, that. It's pointing towards this ultimate mystery, the silence underneath all the noise.
So it's like pure potential before anything is. The text uses beingness or sat versus being. How does that distinction work here?
Exactly right. Beingness is that pure, unmanifested potentiality. Being is everything that has manifested, everything with form and definition. So tat is the beingness, the absolute essence. It's the ultimate ground, the potential for all being. The text even draws parallels to Western ideas like the unconscious or the unknowable. It seems like different traditions kind of bump up against the same idea of a fundamental mystery.
Okay, sort of tracking. And this beingness has two aspects. Absolute abstract space and absolute abstract motion. Still sounds pretty out there.
Let's try. Absolute abstract space isn't like the space between planets. It's more like the very capacity for anything to exist. Pure subjectivity, the text calls it, the ultimate container, but without dimensions we could measure. Think divine space, the potential for space.
Okay, not emptiness, but potential. What about absolute abstract motion then? Sounds like the opposite.
It's not motion like a car moving. It's more like inherent dynamism, unconditioned consciousness. It's symbolized as the great breath.
The great breath.
Yeah, this constant cosmic rhythm. The outbreathing is manifestation, cosmos coming into being. The inbreathing is dissolution, pralaya, returning to potential. It's the universe's pulse, basically. Eternal motion linked to Atma, the universal spirit.
Wow, okay. So not just a metaphor, but a fundamental process. Now, what about things like the Trinity or AUM? Where do they fit in with this absolute?
From this esoteric viewpoint, they aren't separate from the absolute. They're seen as like the very first unfoldings within it, early differentiations as the one starts to express itself.
Okay. Now there's this distinction, causeless cause versus first cause.
Yeah.
Why split that hair? Seems subtle.
It is subtle, but important for the system. A first cause still kind of implies something started it, but the absolute, T-at, is beyond starting. It's uncaused.
Ah, I see.
So causeless cause, or rootless root, points to that ultimate unconditioned nature. First cause is then used for the manifested logos, the first step out of the absolute into something definable.
And the logoi, potentiality of mind, thought in germ, ideation and activity, these are like stages of that manifestation, like the universe thinking itself into existence.
Yeah, that's a decent way to put it, yeah. It's the unfolding from pure potential to a nascent idea to active thought shaping reality. The text even nods to thinkers like Herbert Spencer, finding some common ground but stressing this unique idea of the truly causeless absolute.
Right. And this leads to Parabram, the one reality. Is that the same as T8?
Essentially, yes. Parabram is the term for the absolute as the ultimate reality, the field of absolute consciousness. It's totally beyond our normal conditioned existence, our own consciousness. Just a limited symbol of that.
So trying to grasp it forces duality on it. Spirit, matter, subject, object.
Exactly. From our perspective, trying to define it, we create those pairs. But at the level of Parabram, they aren't separate.
So spirit and matter aren't fundamentally opposed.
Not at the root. They're presented as two facets of the one absolute, Parabram, as it begins to manifest. The foundation of all conditioned being. Purusha thinks spirit and Prakriti think matter or substance are the first primary expressions, but they're unified in the one.
Okay, two sides of one coin, rooted in the absolute. And the great breath, pre-cosmic ideation, what's its role in manifestation?
It's the source of all force, all consciousness, the guiding intelligence behind it all. This is linked to Mahat, universal mind or intelligence. Mahat is seen as the very first product, the origin of our individual minds, our manas.
Okay, intelligence from the great breath. Then there's pre-cosmic root substance, mula prakriti. What's that the basis of?
That's the flip side. If ideation is the consciousness aspect, mula prakriti is the substance aspect. It's the fundamental substratum underlying all objective reality, all matter. Primordial, undifferentiated spiritual substance, actually. The ultimate vehicle, or upadi, for everything. The source of akasha, cosmic ether.
So you need both. Ideation needs substance to express itself, and substance needs ideation to become conscious.
Precisely. The text really hammers this point. Consciousness needs a vehicle, an upadi. Substance needs the spark of ideation to come alive. This duality spirit, Purusha, matter, Prakriti, guided by intelligence, Mahat, is the very engine of the manifested universe, like positive and negative poles, necessary for anything to happen.
Got it. And then, Fohat, the dynamic link. This sounds crucial. The bridge.
Absolutely crucial. Fohat is described as this mysterious something, the energy that connects spirit to matter, subject to object. It's what takes the ideas from divine thought and impresses them onto cosmic substance.
Making them laws of nature.
Effectively, yes. It's the how. It's the dynamic energy of cosmic ideation in action, the intelligent force guiding manifestation. The text talks about the Dian Chohans like cosmic architects using Fohat as their tool, their active force.
And the sons of Fohat listed motion, sound, heat, light, cohesion, electricity, even nerve force. These are its expressions.
Yes, those are seen as the primary energies or forces through which Fohat operates in the universe we experience. Fohat is what animates everything, connects consciousness to its vehicle, electrifies every atom. The text even uses red blood cells as an example of its vitalizing principle.
Okay. Phew. Let me try and recap Prop 1. We start with Tad Parabrahm, the absolute unknowable one. Then comes the logos unfolding spirit, matter, intelligence. They're dual aspects needed for life, guided by cosmic ideation. And Fohat is the electric energy making it all concrete. Is that roughly it?
That's a great summary. It lays the groundwork. Ready for the second proposition? The eternity of the universe.
Bring it on. A universe without end sounds big.
It is, proposition 2. C states the universe in total is eternal, a boundless plane. But it's not static. It's described as a playground for numberless universes incessantly manifesting and disappearing.
Like bubbles forming and popping?
Sort of, yeah. Manifesting stars, sparks of eternity. This brings in Manvantaras the cycles of activity when universes appear and Pralayas the cycles of rest when they dissolve back.
So our whole universe is just one cycle, one spark.
In this view, yes. One among countless others emerging out of necessity. The text mentions Raja's sons, other systems, hinting at the immense scale. It's all part of that great breath again, the cosmic ebb and flow.
And within this, there's the eternity of the pilgrim. Who's the pilgrim? Us.
The pilgrim is our deepest core, the monad, described as Atma-buddhi, the dual spiritual essence within. This is the part considered truly immortal and eternal, a fragment, you could say, of the universal spirit.
Emanating from it.
The text uses emanate, but cautiously, saying it's not a perfect word. It originates from the one and eventually gets reabsorbed. In Vedanta, it's called Sutratma, the thread soul.
So our core self is on this infinite journey through these cosmic cycles. That's a wild thought.
It is pretty staggering. Its eternity is called a wink of the eye of self-existence. The appearance and disappearance of whole worlds is just the tidal ebb of flux and reflux, normal rhythm on that scale.
The text elaborates on the pilgrim, mentioning the auric body, the sutrama.
Yeah.
How do they fit with the monad?
Okay, so the monad, Atma-buddhi, is the essential spark. The sutratma, the thread soul, is like the enduring carrier for that spark throughout a whole manvantara, a whole grand cycle. It's identified with the auric body, or egg.
So it strings together our lives.
Exactly, like beads on a thread. The pearls of human existence, the text calls our incarnations. The Sutratma provides the continuity for the monad across all those lives and cycles.
The cycling thing feels really key then. We see it everywhere, right? Day-night, sleeping, waking.
Absolutely. The text points that out, the universality of periodicity. Flux and reflux. It's in nature, it's in us. These smaller cycles reflect the huge cosmic ones, Manvantaras and Pralayas, and our own cycles of life, death, rebirth, even the cycles of consciousness.
It definitely shifts your perspective on, well, everything, your own life,
Uh-huh.
as just one little loop in this huge pattern. Okay, let's tackle the third proposition, the identity of all souls.
Yes, the third fundamental proposition. This posits the fundamental identity of all souls with the universal oversoul. And that oversoul itself is an aspect of that ultimate unknown root, TAT.
So deep down, we're all connected, all part of one bigger thing.
That's the central idea. An indissoluble link, it says, connects our higher egos to the one universal self. Many men, many gods, yet gods one, merged into one absolute. A major goal here is showing our spiritual, even physical essence is identical with both the absolute and, like, the divine spark in nature.
And these higher egos, they evolve. How does that work?
They start, apparently, in a state of divine consciousness, no past, no future, no separation. Then, through the whole cycle of incarnation, they have to develop individualized self-consciousness.
Become me.
Right, become an individual. But the ultimate role is to then expand that consciousness to realize connection with all other egos, achieving consciousness of all the egos of the whole universe, recognizing that fundamental unity with the oversoul.
There's a specific journey mentioned for a spark from the oversoul.
Yeah, it's quite a journey laid out. That spark has to pass through every elemental form in the phenomenal world during that Manvantara.
Wow, everything.
Seems so. To gain experience, it acquires individuality, first by natural impulse, then through self-aware effort, guided by karma. Ascending through all degrees of intelligence, mineral, plant, animal, then human mind, manas, aiming eventually for the state of a dhyani Buddha, a highly evolved being.
So it's an evolution through forms, not just to forms. And these hierarchies of beings are involved? Builders?
Yes, the idea is different spiritual hierarchies provide the essence or soul for each of the kingdoms, 3 elemental, then mineral, vegetable, animal, and finally spiritual human. It's a progressive ascent.
And you have to go through the stages.
Seems so. The text says man may become spirit, stone, vegetable, animal, not before becoming men. The human stage, with its self-consciousness, is crucial for the next leap. And this whole cycle of incarnation or necessity is driven by karma and the nidanas, the 12 causes shaping existence.
And crucially, no free passes, no special gifts.
None. That's a core ethical point here. Everything is earned by the ego itself through personal effort over countless lives, metempsychosis, reincarnation, self-earned merit. Karma is the mechanism. The text quotes masters warning about karma, about duties to the higher self. There's an iron rule. Whatever powers one gets, one must himself acquire. No divine favoritism.
It resonates with that Hindu idea. Universe is Brahma. Brahma is the universe, for Brahma is in every atom. That interconnectedness again.
Exactly. That captures it beautifully. The active principles we see are just facets of the ultimate seventh, the one reality. One life, jiva, atman, permeates everything.
Even atoms.
Even atoms. The text says an atom contains the 6 principles, just as Atma contains all. Atoms are metaphorically the 33 crores of gods, meaning the divine is present at the most fundamental level. It all goes back to the one, TIT or Parabrahm.
Okay, but then, Maya, illusion. How does that fit with everything being fundamentally one reality? Seems like a contradiction.
It's about perception. Maya here refers to how that 6th principle, Brahma, manifests on our plane, the plane of form. It creates the appearance of separateness, which can be misleading.
So the world we see isn't fake, but our understanding of it is limited?
Kind of. The root of every atom is the 7th principle, the one reality. But its appearance in the manifested world is described as an evanescent illusion of our senses. The physical world, Malkuth in Kabbalah, the objective universe, it's a passing illusion compared to the underlying reality.
So the feeling of being this separate me dealing with a separate world is part of the illusion.
That seems to be the implication, yes. True reality is beyond the phenomenal surface. The path involves piercing that veil of Maya, developing spiritual insight, the opened eye of the Dhamma, as the text calls it, spiritual intuition.
Okay, so summarizing the 3, the absolute oneness at the root of everything, the eternal cyclicity of manifestation and dissolution, and the fundamental unity of all souls on their evolutionary journey back to that oneness, learning through experiencing karma, needing to see past the illusion of separation. That's quite a framework.
It really is a very holistic, interconnected view of existence. It definitely gives you a different lens to look through.
Yeah, it makes you rethink, what's real, how we fit in, our connection to everything else.
Precisely. These ancient ideas, they offer this, well, profound way to maybe reframe our understanding of the cosmos and our own place within it. hopefully sparking some aha moments for you listening.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Blavatsky's foundational ideas, here's maybe something to chew on. If we take this concept of Maya seriously, this idea that our everyday perception might be a kind of illusion, filtering a deeper reality, how might that change how you view your own life, your experiences, your struggles, even your relationships?
Yeah, how does that lens shift things for you? It's definitely worth pondering.
And we absolutely encourage you, if this sparked your interest, to dig into the source material itself, explore these ideas further. There's a lot there.
Definitely. The understanding really comes from your own reflection on these concepts. Thanks for diving deep with us today.